Hi everyone, my name is Mia and welcome back to Brimful of Books. I got a new camera and I'm so excited. Look at this quality, and I mean quality, because in today's video we're going to be spilling all the tea. I'm so sorry, I just had to say it. As you can probably tell by the title, today's video is the anti-TBR book tag. So it's all the books that I just do not want to read. So this tag was created by Nicole from Nicole and Her Books, and I've seen so many people do this recently, so I thought I'm just gonna jump on the bandwagon, be trendy and do it too, because loads of people keep telling me that they love it when I trash books and they love it when I really hate popular books. So I thought this is kind of that. So let's talk about the books that I will never read. So disclaimer, I feel like for a lot of these, they're going to be really popular books, so if you like them, obviously that's fine. I don't even have to say this, do I? Like, if you like these books, that's completely fine. You do you. I just say they're not for me. And I think that's an okay opinion to have. We all know this. And I also think that I might actually read some of them at some point. I think a lot of the books on this list are basically just what I'm not interested in reading right now, like anywhere in the near future. I just won't be picking these up. But that doesn't mean I won't be picking these up in 20 years. I might be interested in these books at that point, but not right now. So that's kind of what this tag is about. So let's get into it. The first question is a popular book everyone loves that you have no interest in reading. So first of all, there's It by Stephen King, which I just have no interest in whatsoever. It is massive. It is way too big for my taste. I couldn't even hold the book. How do you even hold a book that's like 1,000 pages long? I don't want to do that. And then also, somebody told me once that there's this scene where minors have sex in this book. And from that point onward, I was just like, nah thanks. I'm okay, thank you. No. Because I don't want to read that. That sounds disgusting and it makes no sense to be there from what I understand from the scene. I have watched the movie, but only the newer ones. I've never watched the original It, but I don't care enough about it. And then there's also The Cruel Prince. It's a bit random. I don't know why I don't want to read this specific one. I just always, whenever I see this in like reading vlogs or people talking about it, I just think it doesn't sound like my kind of book, basically just because she gets like kidnapped and then she's like in this fairy kingdom and it all sounds a bit weird to me. I don't know, I just don't think I would enjoy that very much, so I don't think I'm ever going to read that. I'm sorry, I'm sure it's a good book really, but I just feel like it's not for me. And lastly, we have the lovely Sarah J Maas with ACOTAR, or A Court of Thorns and Roses, if you're like me and you never understand book Twitter acronyms ever because they're weird and you don't understand them. Anyway, so this book I will probably never read because I've just seen too many bad things about this, and it's still popular, which is so weird to me because everyone seems to love this, but then also everyone seems to hate it. It's really interesting, but I don't think this book is for me. Specifically because I read Serpent and Dove a few months ago, and Sarah J Maas gave a blurb for that book saying that it's everything she loves and it's amazing, and I hated Serpent and Dove so much. So yeah, I don't think I'll be enjoying Sarah J Maas, and specifically A Court of Thorns and Roses. The next question is a classic book or author you don't have an interest in reading. Now, I own a lot of classic books at home in Germany because when I was like 14 and I was watching Gilmore Girls for the first time, I just absolutely fell in love and I wanted to be Rory. So I basically bought all these classic books that I knew I would never read because, first of all, my English wasn't good enough to read them when I was like 14, and I still bought them in English for some weird reason, and I still haven't read them. So it's like Moby Dick, it's like Mark Twain, so like Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer. I think I even bought, what else did I buy? Oh, The Catcher in the Rye. I started that one and I just couldn't get into it, so maybe that would also be a good answer. I don't know if I'm going to be reading any of these ever, so all of these basically. But then also Charles Dickens. I've seen loads of people mention him in these videos, and I agree, I will never read Charles Dickens. I tried to read A Christmas Carol once, but I didn't like it. I didn't like the writing style. I found it too unnecessarily complicated, I think, and I don't think his books are for me. So like Great Expectations, never gonna read that. The third question is a problematic author whose books you have no interest in reading, and like many people have said for this question, I'm gonna go with Rainbow Rowell because I just don't care. Not only is she obviously problematic, I do own Eleanor and Park as well at home in Germany, but I'm gonna unhaul that, I'm gonna sell it because I've never read it, but seeing how loads of people have been saying that's racist and just weird and just not very good, I feel like I just don't want to read it anymore. So yeah, Rainbow Rowell. And also, of course, J.K. Rowling. I mean, I used to be the biggest Harry Potter fan. I used to love it so much. I've got a Harry Potter tattoo. It says until the very end, and low-key regretting it, but not too much because it's fine. But the thing with J.K. Rowling is that I am still going to be reading Harry Potter, but by myself. I'm not going to be talking about it on the internet, and I don't want anyone else to buy her books because she's already rich enough. I mean, the thing is always, me not buying her book is not going to affect her much, but I still feel better not buying any of her books. So I won't be going to the new Fantastic Beasts movies, I won't be buying the video games, I won't be reading any of the books that she could profit from, basically. So yeah. The fourth question is an author you have read a couple of books from and have decided their books are not for you. So for this one, I'm first of all going to go with Cassandra Clare. So I've not read a couple of books from her, I've only read one. I've read City of Bones. I don't think I ever even finished it. But I just didn't like it. I think Cassandra Clare, just like Sarah J Maas, is such a massive name in like the book community online, but I don't really get why. I don't like it. I don't want to read about incest, thank you very much. It's like, I watched a lot of videos about like the incesty parts in the, what's it called, Shadowhunters series? Or is it called City of Bones series? No, because that's the first book. Anyway, that series, we all know what I'm talking about, but there's a lot of incest in it apparently, and it just seems weird to me, and I don't want to read that, and nah, she's just not for me. I don't think I was really into her writing style, and it's just, nah. Next up, we have a genre you have no interest in, or a genre that you tried to get into and couldn't. And I'd say there's no such genre for me because I'm quite open to read basically any genre, but I was thinking about this, and the one genre that I really haven't ever read is biography. So that's one genre that I just wouldn't be very interested in. However, even there's books that I definitely am interested in this genre. So for example, the Michelle Obama and Barack Obama autobiographies that they've recently released, and I would really love to read those because I'm just really interested in them as people, and I think that would be really interesting. So there's a few books within this genre that I'd absolutely love to read, but I think the majority of these books I'm just not interested in whatsoever. I'm not like a celebrity stan, like I never get into celebrities' lives. I just don't care about them whatsoever, so I don't think I'd care about reading about a celebrity's life, or I don't know, it just sounds boring to me. I just don't want to do it, so that's my answer. The next question is a book you have bought but will never read. This can be a book you have unhauled, returned to the library unread. So again, I have a few of those back in my family's home in Germany, but I don't know what they are right now because I've forgotten about them. So I do have, like I said, I have Eleanor and Park there, which I'm definitely never gonna read. I also have Fangirl, which I started and never really finished. I've also got, like I said, A Christmas Carol that I'm gonna unhaul, and probably a few classics that I'll never read. But from the books that I have here, I will probably I will eat all of them. I will eat all my books. That's going to be my next video. I will read all my books that I have here in this flat, so I don't really know. I'd have to check at home, but there's probably quite a few. The next question is a series you have no interest in reading, or a series that you started and have DNF'd. So again, like I said before, it's gonna be Sarah J Maas, anything by her. I just do not care about ACOTAR, and then the other one as well. I don't even know their names. I'm just not interested in it. I don't know. I think the only book by Sarah J Maas that I was like slightly interested in was Crescent City, or Crescent City, I think that's the name, because that just sounded alright from what I've seen from people, but I don't think I'm interested enough in it to actually read it. So anything by Sarah J Maas. And then there's also the Shatter Me series, which I've read the first book from, and I hated it so much. I think I gave it 1 star because it was just, I hated it. I found it really bad. So I will never finish that series ever. Yeah, it's just not gonna happen. I have an issue with finishing series in general. Like, even series that I like, I usually just don't finish, even though I was really into them. So there's quite a few that I just haven't finished, but I think I will finish some of them at some point. That could just be me being really optimistic, but anyway. So those two, definitely. And the last question is a new release you have no interest in reading. And for that, I'm gonna go with A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. I was quite interested in this when I first heard about it, but I've been hearing some things about it being quite problematic. I'll leave some links in the description down below of the stuff that I've seen about it. And it just doesn't seem that interesting to me anymore. And I've also seen a lot of people just not like the book. Lots of people have been saying that it's quite boring, not much happens, it's more about, I guess, the scenery, and I just don't think I could get into that. A lot of people have also been saying that the main character just sucks, so I don't think I want to read that. I'm just not that interested. And then also The Flatshare by Beth O'Leary. Is that her name? I think that's her name. But I just don't care. I've seen so many people talk about this a few months ago, but I just don't care whatsoever. It just sounds really boring to me. I don't know if that's just because I haven't read a lot of romance, or why. I don't know, but I don't care about this book. I would be interested in The Switch by the same author, because that just sounds more interesting to me, but The Flatshare, I don't know, it just hasn't grabbed my attention, so I'm never gonna read that. And yeah, I think that was all the questions. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please do give it a like, and if you didn't like it, give it a like anyway, you know, just support me. Thank you. Also subscribe to my channel while you're at it. And yeah, that was the video. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.